Good morning, everyone. I would like to welcome all of you in the session today. This is your mentor Shivani Sharma from mentorbuddy.com. I hope I'm audible to all. Please respond to the chat box if you all can hear me. Good morning, Arshita. What about others? I've just got a response from Arshita. What about others? Am I audible? Can you all hear me, students? Please respond through the chat box if you can hear me. Good morning, Damini. All right, so I'm audible to all. Thank you so much for confirming that. So let us quickly start the session today. Good morning, Parnika. Let us start the session today, and today's session is going to be another very interesting session, which will be really helpful for you in terms of understanding how to behave when you are entering an organization, right? There are certain do's and don'ts which we have been talking about in the past 8 sessions. Today is the 9th session of the same series of soft skills. Today we are going to understand that when we'll be entering our corporate world, what are the things which we should do and what are the things which we should refrain from doing, right? All of us want to become a likable employee. So now today I'm going to talk about certain tips and techniques which will help you in becoming the most likable employee in the organization, right? So let us quickly start with the presentation. Is the presentation visible, students? Arshita, Damini, Parnika, is the presentation visible? Okay, all right. Hi, hi, Smranya, Vijaya. All right, so everybody is able to see the screen now. Let's start. Okay, students. So we are going to talk about office etiquette today, right? You can call this with a lot of names like office etiquette. I'm so sorry for the wrong date. Today is 20th. I'm so sorry for the same. Right. So it's office etiquette, workplace etiquette, or whatever you want to call it with, right? So today is the 9th session. I was preparing the presentation yesterday, so by mistake, I have put in June 19 here. Right. So let me just ask you, when we say the term corporate etiquette, what comes to your mind, or what do you expect that in the class today, what ma'am is going to talk about? I just want to hear from you all. What is your expectation from the session today? Come on, quickly respond to the questions. Otherwise, we'll not be able to complete. I have a lot of things, for you in the session. What do you expect from the class when I say corporate etiquettes or workplace etiquette? What do you understand from this? What do you think am I going to talk about? Okay, Damini says basic manners to be followed in workplace. Good answer, Damini. What about others? Okay, Smranya Vijaya Krishna. We might learn how to present ourselves in our workplace. Good. Aniket says office culture. Good. Right. So, depending upon the responses which students are giving, we are all on the same platform. Yes, this is what we mean by office etiquette. We are going to understand what is office culture, how are we supposed to behave. Shraddha, you need to respond through this only, not through the chat box, students. You can only respond through the question pane that you can see. All of you need to communicate with me through the question pane that you see on the window. Can you all see the question, option of that question pane there? There are a lot many options, right? One of the option is question. So you can communicate with me through this question only, right? Yes, Rohit, I can see your message. Shraddha, you can communicate with me over here, right? Okay, so we are on the same platform. We are good to go. So let's just talk about some more things related with this. So today we are going to talk about what is office etiquette, what are the different types of office etiquette, what are the things which we should keep in mind, and certain do's and don'ts that will help you, as I said, to become the most likable employee in the organization. All right. I have the same expectations and the same ground rules of the class. No changes in that. Please listen attentively to what I'm saying. Participate actively through the question pane. I'll be posing a lot of questions to make the session interactive. I expect all of you to participate in that through your responses. I have a case study also for the session today, which I'll be discussing towards the end of the class. And finally, I'll be giving 2 to 3 minutes for you for Q&A session, so that whatever questions you have in mind, you can just share that with me. You are allowed to share your experience through the chat box. Please do respect each other. Keep a notebook ready with you and write down your points, whatever we are discussing, and you think that this is good enough for you. Whatever I'm telling you about, you should keep a note of that, because these things are going to be really very helpful for you once you'll enter the corporate scenario. All right. Before I could start with the session, I just want to, keep the expectation, or let us all come on the same ground and try to understand what are the things which we should do and which we should not do. So just look at the video and see whether you are sensitive enough that this is something which you're not going to do once you're joining a corporate world, right? I'm not saying that we do all these things consciously, but being students, we are not very aware of the professional work culture. So unconsciously also we tend to do a lot of these things, right? So please have a look at this, try to sensitize yourself about the office behavior, and then I'll take up all these issues one by one in my coming up slides. There's not much to listen, but definitely a lot to observe, right? So please focus on this.
அப்புறம் ஹாஸ்பிடல் போனீங்களா? என்ன சொன்னாங்க? ஓகே ஓகே. அப்புறம் அப்புறம் தீபாவளி லீவுக்கு கண்டிப்பா வரேன் பாட்டி. இப்ப வர முடியாது.
All right. So I want you all to share with me what is your understanding from this video. I hope you all like the video, right? And this is what unconsciously most of us, tend to do without even realizing that what we are doing is not as per the corporate or the office etiquette, right? So tell me one thing that you find that you found most interesting in the video that I've shared with you just now. I need a response from all the students. One thing that you feel was, which you think was something that you really liked, or which you are going to make it as a key takeaway. Okay, right, Rohit, that is certainly what the objective of showing the video was. Right, Shraddha? Yes, these are the things we do at home or maybe in sometimes in college, but this is absolutely not allowed in office scenario. Right. So the part where the girls were looking at they were watching movies in the workplace, that is definitely wrong. They were being insensitive to the colleague when she was answering a professional call, an official call, but they were being so loud in their discussion that she could hardly listen to maybe the client or the senior, right? So these are the probably the trivial issues which goes unnoticed when we behave in the similar manner, but when our working gets affected by others, then we definitely give it a thought, right? So yes, Damini, disturbing others while working is not good, right? So I hope that we are now sensitive enough to understand that it is very essential for us to understand the do's and don'ts for office etiquette so that we can behave in the best possible manner, and people are not going to take us as the rival number one. Right? So let us understand what do we mean by workplace etiquette. So workplace etiquette means the socially acceptable ways, right? We all are sensitive and we need to understand that there are certain mobile etiquettes, there are certain, etiquette to handle telephone, etiquette for cafeteria and for lunchtime, all these things, right? That means there are certain socially acceptable ways how to behave with others and how to interact with others in the workplace. And generally, in big organizations like Infosys, Wipro, TCS, they have their office etiquette shared with the employees at the time of socialization itself. But still, there are certain, basics which all of us have to keep in our mind before really starting with our corporate journey. Now, if I'm going to talk about corporate or workplace etiquette, I'm sure most of you must be wondering what is the need to learn all these things? We already are aware of this, right? But let me tell you, sometimes unconsciously we do these things, right? So, how does this etiquette benefit you? Let me just tell you this. First of all, if you're going to follow proper workplace etiquette, it will help you in smoothening the wheel of daily interaction, how you interact with your colleagues, your juniors, your boss, right? This is going to be really very helpful for you and beneficial also. You will be, a likable employee. It will help you in having good work outcomes. Your peers will also like to be with you, a happy coexistence, right? There might be scenarios when people don't agree with your thoughts or with your points, but definitely they're going to like you as a person for sure. And people who don't behave properly in office environment, generally they are the office enemy number one. Nobody likes to interact with them. People, backchat about them. They are not good team workers because nobody wants to work with them as a part of a team, right? So I'm sure none of us want to be office enemy number one, isn't it? Then it also, when you are aware of office etiquette, it will help you in modifying what are the behavior that distracts your working, and you can develop those conduct or behavior pattern which people admire, and people will come up to you for, for suggestions and maybe for discussions also, right? So this is very important for all of us to understand that it under proper office etiquette will also be helpful for you. It will make you very confident in a variety of situation with a variety of people, because when you'll be entering the corporate world, you'll be interacting with people across diverse backgrounds, having their own cultural baggage with them, from different from different educational background, right? And a lot of differences. But what is common among all is the basic workplace etiquette, which everybody has to follow, irrespective of the designation, irrespective of the number of years of work experience or anything, right? Now, let us try to understand that who are these real enemy number one, so that you can keep this in mind and you will never ever become so. Generally, we all are bothered by those co-workers who have poor personal hygiene. I have talked about personal hygiene a lot in the initial sessions when we were doing grooming. So by personal hygiene means, not properly brushing your teeth or stinking foul. You should always wear a deodorant or a good smell when you are reaching to your workplace. Make use of cologne, make use of mouthwash so that you do not stink. Wear properly neat and clean clothes. When I say proper clothes, I do not mean branded clothing, but I certainly mean neat, properly ironed, and your attire which is fitting your personality as per your body posture as well, right? People or employees don't like people who are, leaving trash or personal belongings in other people's workspaces. We have just seen in the video when the colleagues were, making use of the belongings, but they were just leaving the trash there on the table, on the workstation of the other colleagues. Now this is something which is really very very bad, and you should always keep this in mind. Now these are all general manners and etiquette. Then don't follow through when they say they will do something, right? So suppose your colleague is saying, okay, don't worry, I'll be doing that, and you are constantly doing a follow up, right? That is not required. So you can always set a time frame that, okay, fine, we'll discuss this tomorrow, by when I am sure that you'll be, completing this task. And then ensure that you are rechecking tomorrow only and not before that. Don't try to, boss your colleague. Then don't acknowledge you unless you speak to them directly. Right. So employees are also bothered by those co-workers who don't acknowledge you. Suppose you are talking to them or they are talking to you and you are not paying any ear to them, or you're not listening to them properly, or just, trying to ignore them. That is something which is not really good, or you are just trying to, you know, oversay what they are saying. Please refrain from making use of language that is over familiar. I've seen a lot of people saying words like, oh dear, please don't do like this. Don't get into these kind of informal words like honey or dear or sweetheart. Not everybody is open or vocal with these kind of words. Until you develop a very intimate bonding with your colleagues, don't make use of all these words in corporate culture. This is something which people probably do not like. This is again goes to personal grooming. We are clothing, like nobody is going to like a person who's wearing clothing that is dirty or too casual or too seductive or distracting in any ways, right? Understand you have joined an office where you are going to showcase your talent in terms of your work performance and not any other ways. Until unless you are joining, fashion world, or you are joining Bollywood, I don't think, distracting your colleagues with your work and your fashion and your makeup, it's going to make any sense, I guess. Right. So don't flirt with your co-workers, vendors, or customers. That is simply, that is really very, very bad, because you should maintain the integrity of your office culture whenever you're behaving with your vendors, customers, or co-workers. This is something which is really not acceptable in any of the work culture, right? Wear too much perfume or aftershave. Please don't, overdo things. Considering ma'am said that we should smell good, so you are just going to pour the entire bottle of perfume on yourself, right? Don't do that. Wear light smell, right? Wear, soft smell perfumes or aftershaves are always recommended. Reason being, office environment, or the cabins are generally small or closed. So if you are going to wear a very hard perfume, that might have a negative impact on somebody's health, or maybe, people are not going to like it, right? So wear light and, maybe a flower fragrance perfume or aftershave. So now let us talk about what behaviors does workplace etiquette include. So broadly speaking, how you relate to your co-workers, that is one. How you relate to your customers, that is second. How you behave while you are at work, that is third. What you wear, that is fourth. And how you speak and communicate with people, that is five, right? There are many other which will be talking about this here, right? But broadly speaking, office etiquette involves all these three, five things, right? So, office etiquette. So, in one go, if I have to say, these are the bare minimums which we are supposed to do. So, you can just take a note of this. Office etiquette means you are going to dress decently as per your office culture. Whenever you have to borrow anything, you're not going to simply, go there and pick it up. You need to ask before borrowing anything. You're expected to be a team player and not an individual performer. Always keep your phone on silent mode, right, when you are in your workplace. Ensure that you are always ready to lend a helping hand to others whenever they ask for. Don't try to peep into, anybody's personal zone. Be punctual. That is something which we have discussed the very first day. And always ready whenever you are assigned with any task or somebody is giving you a task to do. But there is a very thin margin line here. You should also learn to say no. Suppose you are already, You already have 10 assignments to complete and your colleague is asking you to, lend a helping hand in completing the 11th assignment. So be humble and say, so sorry, I won't be able to do that because right now, even I am having my 10 assignments to complete. Allow me some time to complete my own work and then I definitely will help you out. Right? So always ready do not mean that you are leaving your work and helping others in completing theirs. Right? So I hope that things are clear till here and you all understand this. Now, we'll start with the first aspect of office etiquette, how to behave with colleagues. So, the very first thing that comes over here is introduction. Whenever you are meeting somebody for the first time in your office, be sure that you are going to introduce yourself to the person. When you are introducing somebody, how are you going to introduce? Whom are you going to introduce first? So, you are going to introduce your junior to your senior, right? Not your senior to your junior. Always remember that you are going to take the names in order. Handshakes, we have already talked about this. You should not offer a handshake to opposite gender. A male is not supposed to offer a handshake to a female colleague. Right, in Indian work scenario, a female can do so until unless a female offers you a handshake. You should not do that. A junior should not offer a handshake to a senior. When a senior offers you a handshake, or somebody who is higher in authority position or elder to you in age can offer you a handshake, then only you should do that. Otherwise, you should not initiate from your side. And personal body space, we have talked about this in non-verbal communication. We all have an intimate space or a personal space. So whenever you are in office scenario, office etiquette means you are going to maintain some distance while interacting with your colleagues. It goes especially more relevant when you are communicating with somebody who is of opposite gender or somebody who is senior to you. Ensure that you are not going to enter into the personal space of anybody. So maintain proper distance, right? Now, let us quickly have a look at certain points which are essentials as far as workplace etiquette is concerned, right? This will help you in giving a speed to our presentation. Right. So any questions so far, students? Any questions? I hope you are able to understand the points that I'm trying to put across, right? That what are the things which we should do, what are the things which we should not do, considering work culture. Right. So let us once again do a quick revision of do's and don'ts in terms of personal grooming. So this is how boys are supposed to be: trimmed haircut, clean shaved, warm smile. Now, warm smile goes for men and women both. Confidence goes for both. Formal dressing goes for both. Firm handshake depends whether you are interacting with a peer, colleague, right? Same gender or opposite gender. Correct body posture goes same for both, right? Now, for male, the professional grooming we have already discussed. For females, also, we have discussed that earlier. It can be Indian formal or Western formal, right? Depending upon the office work culture and depending upon how you can carry yourself well. Indian formal includes saris and salwar suits. Western formal includes office wear in terms of coats, pants, trousers and tops, long skirts with top, right? So that depends on the work culture and how comfortable you are in Western or Indian wear. Now let us quickly discuss the different telephone etiquette. I think all Indians need to be groomed for the same. Hardly you will come across people having proper telephone etiquette, right? You must have seen, a lot of people coming to your place, or in our home also, or in close public gathering also, that they just pick up the phone and they start talking so loudly, considering that others should hear what they're speaking. We cannot change everybody, but definitely as an individual we can always keep these things in mind whenever we are in a official scenario, right? So the telephone etiquette are: use appropriate tone of voice. Can anybody just throw a light on this? What do we mean by appropriate tone of voice? I just want anybody to, say, what do you mean by appropriate tone of voice? We have already discussed about it earlier and just now I've given you an example. Appropriate tone of voice. What do you understand by this? Come on, students, quickly respond. Very good, Saurabh. Not too high and not be too loud. We should not be too loud. Very good, Amita. Yes, Divyanshi, talking in mild voice, not making much of noise. Yes, Shashank, we must speak softly, medium, soft but confident voice. It shouldn't be rude. Very good. I really appreciate all the responses. And yes, this is what we mean by proper tone of voice, right? You should not be too loud. You should be soft but confident, right? And that is what I mean by the next line, which I've just written over here. Maintain a positive attitude while communicating with your vendors or customers or colleagues or superiors over a call. You should maintain a positive attitude. Don't talk rudely. Don't talk anything that is negative. Don't make use of slang terms. We have also talked about this earlier as well. Slang terms are something which are not allowed. And please do practice good listening skills. Ensure that the other person has completed once and then only you start speaking. Do not interrupt the customer or the vendor, or the colleague or superior or junior. Allow him to complete first, right? Take complete phone message. So note down the name, date, time, reason for calling, where they can be reached, and everything, right? So that whenever you have to do a follow up, or if you have to convey that message to somebody else, you are having the complete details of the message for sure. Ensure that you keep your phone on silent mode, or make use of the ringing tones which are official, right? I have seen a lot of people making use of ringing tones that are very loud, or that are not acceptable as far as official work culture is concerned, right? Don't make use of very loud tones, or tones of songs that are not good, right? So don't make use of all these things. That is really something which is not comfortable, which will also make you uncomfortable when you're sitting with someone, right? So, or if possible, whenever you are entering into a senior's cabin, or you are in a meeting with a customer, or you are in an important official conversation or meeting, then you can maybe put your cell phone, turn it off, or put it on silent mode. Avoid looking at your messages again and again when you are communicating with somebody in an official work scenario also, because this all goes against you. Let me share a scenario, right? Suppose your customer has come to meet you, or you are going to meet your customer, and you are constantly looking at your phone or checking your messages every now and then. What is the impression that your customer is going to get? Yes, students, please answer this. You are going to meet a customer, right, and constantly looking at your phone, or every now and then checking your messages or calls. What does this shows? Okay, Damini says careless. Divyanshi says they'll feel ignored. What about others? Is the scenario clear? I want you all to answer me this. Not interested. Yes, Rohit, good. Saurabh, no discipline. Do you think you'll be able to get the work from this customer by showing this kind of body language or attitude? It's not a good behavior. Yes, Rohit, you will never get that, right? And the person will get the idea that probably you are not so much interested in business, or you are bugged up with something else, or you have some other important commitment to take up. Similarly, it goes for the, suppose you have a meeting at 4 p.m. with a client and you are reaching there at 4:15. Do you think the client is going to take it with open heart? No, right? Because the client is going to have this idea that probably you're not interested in this business, right? So always keep in mind that for those important things, right, which are essential for you, you should always reach there on time. Do not have the tendency to look at your phone and again and again when you are indulged in an important task. Right? Am I clear on this? And always maintain your phone on silent mode or on low tone when you are entering into a cabin of your boss or your client, or you are in your office, right? There's no need to have a loud ringtone. Right? So these are certain telephone etiquette which we all should keep in mind. And I'm sure that this is going to be really very helpful for you. Now let us talk about another very important and interesting thing. I hope most of the things were clear from the first video that I've shown to you. When it comes to cubicle behavior, now these are all very trivial things. You must be considering, ma'am, why are we discussing about all these things? Because together, these things constitute the entire office etiquette, right? So when we talk about cubicle culture, it means whenever you are on a call, or whenever you are working or interacting with somebody, you are looking at your mobile phone, keep in mind that there are others also who are working around you. You are not the only one sitting in the office, right? Until unless you have your separate cabin, which is closed from all sides, and you're the only one sitting there, it's fine. But when you're sitting with others with small cubicles, that is generally the work culture. Ensure that you are not entering into the private space of others. And please do understand that there are others also which do not know, or which are who have not attended our session of office etiquette, so they might also be very much interested in listening to what you are talking about. Please don't take any personal calls. Get into professional calls only when you are sitting in office. If it's an urgent personal call, you can always excuse yourself from that place where people are sitting and working, right? So please only indulge yourself in professional things when you are in your office. Use your inside voice when on the phone or speaking with a co-worker. By inside voice, I mean do not be too loud, or don't keep your voice on a very high tone when you are interacting with people. And please remember that whenever you are entering into a cubicle conversation or cubicle calls, it can be heard by others, and there might be people who are very much interested in knowing about you, right? So please ensure and keep in mind all these things. Any questions so far related with cubicle etiquette and telephone etiquette? I'm not going very fast so that you people can, uh, understand and comprehend these things properly. Amita, please park your question for the end of the session. I'll surely take this question up. This is something which is important for us to understand. I'll surely take this up, right? Please park this question for the last round of Q&A. Any questions so far, students? Have you all understood the cubicle etiquette and the telephone etiquette also? Why others are not responding? I could see only 4 or 5 students interacting with me. What about others? Rohit, Damini, Kenil, Amita, Aniket, Shraddha. There are a lot many more students. What about them? Rajashri, Arshita. Not even 10 students are responding to my questions. This is not good, students. Remember, this is a soft skills session. We have some constraints. That is why I could not allow to speak, no, to open your mic. But you can always interact with me through the chat box. Now let us understand certain do's and don'ts for workplace, which will make you the most likable employee. As I said at the start of the class, that we'll be discussing about few things that will help you in becoming the most likable employee, right? And I'm sure all of you want to be that. So the very first and the basic rule for workplace is follow gender neutrality, right? So consider that your colleagues are your colleagues or your senior or junior as per their designation and work profile and not as males and females, right? So don't pass out any gender uh, any gender specific remark. Don't assign works keeping in mind a very which are very critical to a particular gender role or things like this. Be gender neutral when you are discussing about the work culture, right? Then always remember that business meals are for eating and networking, but don't ever assume that you are going to talk to your colleague with your mouth full of food, that you start spitting on the other person, considering that ma'am told us that the lunch time is for eating and networking. Yes, it is, but please maintain the proper etiquette of eating your lunch also. I don't think I need to discuss eating etiquette also here. You all are grown ups, you know what are the things which we should do and which we should not do when we are sitting in the cafeteria. Adhere to the protocol when interacting with superiors. We have talked about a lot of things. What are the protocols? You should not call your senior with the first name, right? In some work culture, in some of the organization, it is allowed, but you need to understand that, right? So entering your office on the very first day and calling out your boss by the first name is generally which you should refrain from. Try to understand the work culture, understand how people call out each other, and then only get into that. Till that time, you can always make use of the surname, adding a prefix to it like Mr. or Miss or Mrs., right? So that will work. Don't offer a handshake to your senior, as I have told you earlier also. Please understand what are the office protocol. Is there any casual dressing day that is allowed, or what the work culture involves? Are you allowed to wear casuals for work also? But wearing casuals does not mean that you are going to walk inside your office in chappals, right, or slippers. That is strictly prohibited, even if it is a casual clothing day as well, right? Do not scream and shout at your colleagues in front of others. Generally, I've seen people that they think that they are able to boast themselves if they'll shout on their colleagues, at their colleagues or their juniors. But this is something which shows that you are not a well behaved person. You're not allowed to scream on anybody. Or I've seen many people throwing files or showing tantrums on their juniors. This is something which is highly unacceptable, and nobody is going to like that, even your colleagues or your bosses also. So don't feel that you are showing your superiority by indulging in behavior like this. Never treat colleagues differently. All are equal. So if you are willing to work or help somebody, then you should always extend a helping hand to others as well, right? Don't follow favoritism in office, because even try to keep yourself in the shoes of other person. How will you feel if somebody else is going to behave like this with you? And I've intentionally put this point here: always wear shoes, right? It can be a casual day or a formal dressing day. So we have shoes for formal dresses also, and for casual dressing sense also. So please understand that there are certain personal grooming tips which I've already shared with all of you, and I expect all of you to follow that when you're joining your office. Then let us discuss about some unacceptable behavior. Although, I have talked a lot about all these things, but still these are certain points which you should all need to memorize and keep it in your mind. Do not chew gum with your mouth open. What I would like to suggest is, please don't chew gum when you are in official settings. That is something which is not allowed, right? So chewing gum is allowed in informal settings, but not in formal settings, meetings, or when you are interacting with your clients or vendors or customers. This is something which is highly unacceptable. Avoid funky ringtones on your cell phone. I've already talked about this when I was telling you about the telephone etiquette. Don't make use of ringtones which are highly funky. Even caller tunes, for a professional number, should not be kept like that, that that the other person is getting something, a wrong impression of your personality. Do not give yourself or a colleague a manicure or pedicure in the office. I'm sure you all are not going to do this, but understand that an official setup is just for work. Avoid negative behavior of any sort. Don't backchat, don't gossip in office, right? Don't get into anybody's personal space, don't use anybody's personal belongings in his or her absence. Never badmouth your colleague or organization. This is something which is really unacceptable. I have talked about this when we were having a session on interview questions and answers, that whenever, even if you are meeting somebody for the first time, let's say you are interacting with your vendor and you're talking bad about your organization, people are like this only, they don't pay the bills on time and they negotiate very hard. Please don't pass such loose remarks against your organization, against your colleagues, boss, superiors, juniors, anybody. Because remember, it talks about you as a person. It shows, it gives the other person an impression about your personality also, right? Now, this is a very basic thing. I have seen people not following this, that whenever you are using a copier machine or a fax machine and it went out of paper, you are the last one to use it and it is now out of paper. So ensure that you replace paper in the copier and fax machine, so that the person who's going to make use of the machine after you is not facing any challenge. You were able to do it properly because there was already paper available in the machine, right? So have the same courtesy or gratitude for the other person also. Now, this is something which is very basic. Please do not steal food and drinks from the fridge, right? In a lot of MNCs and in a lot of corporates, we have refrigerators, or we have machines, that is coffee vending machines and all, right? So that machine is not meant for you to enjoy in office, but that is certainly to ease out the stress and burden and to make you feel comfortable. But that does not mean that after every half an hour you are going there to have a cup of coffee. Taking office supplies home is unacceptable. Do not consider that your office property is your personal property, so you can utilize it for your siblings or children or parents. That is meant for the smooth functioning of office. That is meant for you to make your working or to facilitate your working. So respect the property of your office. Ensure that you are not going to provide any harm to the office supplies or office infrastructure. Use it as your own. If you are seeing something that is not being utilized properly, please ensure that you are going to take a proper corrective action for the same or informing the authorities for it, right? Now, this is something which I thought that let me share it with you, because just now I have discussed that consider that the official lunch time is for you to for eating and networking. But eating and networking also involves certain dining basics. So the very first thing is that when you are sitting in a group, so wait until everyone has been served before you begin to eat, right? That is a basic bare minimum. Let everybody have their food on the plate and then you can start with them. Bring food to your mouth and not your head to your plate, right? This is a very basic thing, but probably you might not have noticed. So from today onwards, please start noticing this. Are you bringing your head to your plate or you're bringing your food to your mouth, right? Whenever you are now, these are certain very basics of dining manners. You should always pass on salt and pepper together. And whenever we pass food, right, the serving dish, we always pass it to the right and not to the left. Whenever you are talking, let's say you are having your food and you are talking with your colleagues or with your customer, then rest the utensils on plate while talking. Do not hold a fork, a spoon, or a knife in hand, right, full of food and talk, right? Make the utensils rest on the plate and then talk. Do not talk with your mouth full. Just now I've elaborated on this. Complete your food, right? So whatever you have in your mouth, eat that, swallow that first properly, and then speak. Do not chew with your mouth open, right? Proper posture is very important. And please, table manners. Table manners means what? You are not going to put your elbows on the table, right? No gum and no elbows on the table. Please and thank you and sorry. These are considered to be three magical words in the field of communication. Ensure that you are going to make as much use of these words as possible, because this gives the impression to the other person that you are a well behaved person. Turn your cell phone off while eating food. Nothing can be more important than having your lunch or dinner, right? Be responsible for keeping up and positively contributing to the conversation. Small talk is appropriate while you are having your food, right? But ensure that you follow all the dining basics that we have discussed over here. Clear? Now, just the last bit, certain final tips for office behavior. So far, we have talked about a lot of elements which I'm sure are going to be very, very beneficial for you, not only in your office work scenario, but in your personal life as well. If you have questions, you should always go ahead, take permission from your senior and ask that question. Do not assume or presume a response to the question. Remember, you are entering the office for the first time, or even if not first time, ensure to recheck with the senior that this is what you are thinking and this is what they want to make you do. If you make a mistake, tell someone about it. Don't cover it up, because a simple mistake which can be corrected at the first step might take a very distorted shape a little later, which cannot even be corrected. Don't talk too much about your personal life. Students, please keep this thing in mind. When you are entering a work culture, you're not aware about how other people are, who can misutilize the information that you are, sharing. So please don't ever talk about your personal life with anyone. Don't make enemies or burn bridges. Remember, you can cross any bridge when you reach it, and the only way to cross that bridge is through communication, right? So Don't talk too much about your personal life, but that does not mean that you are not going to talk at all with others. There are n number of topics other than your personal life which you can always discuss. Be professional and ethical at all times. Don't ever enter into any kind of unprofessional behavior in your office. Do not take credit for others' work. Whatever you have done, you should take credit of that. But if somebody has done that for you, you should be courteous enough to pass on that credit to the person concerned. Always be honest in your work, in your acceptance of mistakes, failures, and success as well. Respect your co-workers. Be a team player. Cooperate with others. Make the environment of the office very healthy and competitive. There should not be cutthroat competition, but there should always be, a good, healthy competition. Be open to suggestions and constructive criticism, and take that suggestion and criticism for improving yourself, and be responsible for your actions. So, whatever you are doing, please, have a conscious decision about it before getting into it, and then be responsible to owe your actions, or to take the onus of your actions also. Right? So I think these tips are going to be really very handy for you, and this will be helpful for you in improving or in making a proper office behavior. Now, just to sum up the session today, I have a case study for you. I'm giving you 2 minutes time so you all can read this case study. Then I'll be posing a few questions, and then we'll be having some question and answer for the session today, and then we'll wind up. Right? So understand a scenario. Right? There's a boy named Rohit, and he's of your generation. He's a type Y generation or a millennial generation, which uses and familiar with communications, right? Media and digital technology. So all of you are very, very familiar with all these things, right? Social media, digital technology, all sort of communication. So Rohit is also of your generation, and all day at work, Rohit loves to surf the web, email, chat, and connect with his friends through Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn and WhatsApp and a lot many social media, right? So if somebody is going to check his social network, he always stays online. Sometimes during the lunch break, he also loves to play online games as well. Right. So you might be considering, so ma'am, what is wrong in this? Nothing is wrong. Let us look at the other thing. The big problem arises when one of his boss get annoyed with his habits because he often misses the deadline. Now, this is something which is not acceptable, right? That you are missing the deadline to do the job because you are so much engaged in social media, or you are so much engaged in your online games. And just look at the reason which he gave. His denial reasons he gave when the HR manager called are that no one told him about the company rules related to surfing policies. Right. So he very clearly said that nobody told me that what are the rules and the protocol related with the internet surfing policies. And he said that earlier I used to work at retailing company for video gaming. So there I was required to work to stay online for all the time, all day. Right. So the HR manager gives a hard warning to him that this is something which was allowed in the last job because your job involved the same. But right now, in the current scenario, this is something which is not acceptable. So the HR manager gave a hard warning. Now, Rohit is not satisfied with the decision, and he was complaining to everybody in the office regarding the same, that this is not right, and I was not being told this is how I was behaving in the last job. So I was assuming that this is how here also I can behave. But Rohit does not realize that he is in a different environment, right? So it cannot be denied that nowadays practically everyone uses the internet at work. So no organization can deny you that you cannot make use of internet in office, but you should be clear about the acceptable and unacceptable behavior, right? Because nobody is going to keep a check on you all the time that what you are doing. The company never prohibits their employees to serve the internet as long as it has a correlation with the job. And it is more of common sense to realize that offensive sites should not be accessed at work, right? Now, so these are few things which you should always keep in mind. So is the case study clear to all of you? Right? Now I have certain questions. So, given the situation, what do you think is wrong with Rohit's habits? Considering this case study, what do you think is not appropriate in Rohit's behavior? What do you think is not right with Rohit's behavior? Come on, team, quickly. Yes, very good, Shraddha. Very good, Narendra. Attitude is not right. Very good. So he was online every time and not attending office work properly. Yes, Shraddha. Being online every time is not appropriate. Okay, he's being very informal and using the office resources for his personal work. Very good. Attitude is not serious about his work. Very good. I that these are all right answers. So definitely his attitude was not right when HR manager called. Then he simply said that he was not at fault because this is how he was behaving in the last job also. So he's not serious about his work. He's irresponsible, not giving justice to work, not adapting to the present organization. Wonderful answers given by all of you. Very good. Yes. The second question says why several people in the company get annoyed. And the very basic thing is that since he was not able to meet the deadline, so that is why people were getting annoyed. As long as you are performing, as long as you are approaching the deadlines, it's fine. But if you're not able to do that, this is something which is not acceptable. Now students, just tell me one thing. Do you think Rohit's denial reasons were good enough to be acceptable? When he said that this is how I used to behave in the last job, do you think that this is acceptable? It is not. Very good. It is not. Why? Because every organization has a different work culture. Every organization has a different corporate or workplace etiquette, which all of us have to follow. Right? So you need to ensure that you are going to be following this. Now, a very interesting and very important question. What will be the solution of this problem for him? What will be the solution of this problem for Rohit? I want all of you to suggest Rohit a solution. Okay. He should take initiative to check out surfing policies as soon as he changed his workplace. Very good, Aishwarya. He should have learned new workplace rules. Control yourself to control yourself to being online every time and be punctual. Very good, Rajshri. He has to adjust to the environment and workplace. Very good, Bhavita. First, Rohit joined new firm, then he need to see some office, whether after then react with someone. Okay, Kennel. Adapt to the environment. Very good, Chandana. Change his attitude and adapt as per the company rules and regulations. Very good, Narendra. He should stay focused and finish the work first and then explore to other things. Very good, Shraddha. Follow rules and regulations. Very good, Rohit. He should get back to job if he's comfortable there. Okay, but that is the escapist attitude, Anurag, right? So if he's working in the present job, so definitely he must have taken a conscious decision to join this job. So just because of his surfing abilities, do you think he should quit the job and join somewhere else? I don't think that is not a correct solution to mention. Right. So definitely all of you have suggested Rohit good solutions, good workable solutions rather. Right. So yes, definitely I'll give you an answer to the fifth question. According to you, how important it is to learn the employee handbooks before get starting or doing the jobs? It is very, very essential. And generally you will find whenever you're entering a new organization, the HR will help you in socialization process and will provide you a conduct book, but still there are some informal ways of understanding and learning what are the do's and don'ts for this office work culture. And I'm sure none of the organization is going to like the fact that you are surfing the internet and not completing your task on time, right? So students, last question that I'm going to pose: to what extent surfing internet can be acceptable in an organization? What do you think? If you are the manager, how much time do you think you are going to allow your people to surf the internet? Mohammad Aminullah, yes, I think you are right. Rohit should also join my session to understand what are the do's and don'ts, right? But suppose he has not joined, then okay, Shraddha is saying half to 1 hour of internet surfing should be allowed. Okay. What about others? Until it's not getting disturbance in office, once your work is complete for a while, always until it is related to work, half hour. So, see, there is no set criteria of deciding the timeline for internet surfing, but as long as it is not affecting your work. Right, Rohit? So, whenever you are doing your professional work, it should not be allowed. And, you know, being online on social media is something which you should refrain. Until unless it is related to your work, it should not be allowed. You can always surf through the social media or internet during your lunchtime, or when you are taking a short break, let's say a tea break or a coffee break, right? But other than that, try to refrain yourself from spending much time on social media, right? So an employee should always be aware of the limits, that nobody else gets an opportunity to check you for the timelines, to check you for completion of your targets, right? So thank you so much, all of you. Amazing. You all have been so responsive, and I'm sure that you all enjoyed the session today. I tried to make it as much interactive as possible by including the case study, by including the good videos, so that all of you can stay connected with me, right? So that brings us to the end of the session. I'm open for all the questions that you have in mind. These are the ways through which you can connect with us. Please do write to me on feedback.mentorbuddy@gmail.com for all your queries and concerns, for the feedback of the session, for your resume correction, for everything related with the assignment and the classes. Anything, any issue related with the e-certificates and non-attending the classes, you can write to support@mentorbuddy.com. Please upload all your e-certificates that you're receiving after the classes and tag us on LinkedIn at Quantum Learnings. If you want to go through the material that is available on MentorBuddy website, all these mock tests, a lot of content related with aptitude and verbal and soft skills is available on mentorbuddy.com. So visit our website. To register for my upcoming webinars, you need to visit centerofexcellence.com and register yourself for the upcoming webinars. Right, so this brings us to the end of the session. I'm sure all of you have enjoyed the session today. Thank you so much for attending. If you have any questions, please ask your questions through the chat box. Okay, so those of you who are not getting the certificates, please do write to support@mentorbuddy.com. Through support, you will be getting the certificates, right? All right. So when last time, okay, Amita's, the soft skill test is available on MentorBuddy. So you have to visit MentorBuddy website, go to company test, and there you will find the link to soft skills test. Please do that soft skills test. Share your resume with me so that we can quickly plan out. This week only, I'm planning to have an interactive session with all of you for mock interviews. Okay, what to do when colleague irritates not by doing the work on time? So, Ami, if that is the case, I would rather suggest you a practical workable solution. Whenever you are in a teamwork and you have to share your workload with somebody, do that on email and keeping somebody who is senior to you in CC, right? So then the next thing you don't have to do. And suppose the timeline has already passed, then you can write an humble email that I'm looking forward for for your response on this task. And again, mention the senior in CC, right? So I think your job is done then. All right. Okay, thank you so much, students. Uh, Kenil, you will be receiving your e-certificate on your email only, right? From the email ID through which you have registered for the webinar. Thank you so much, students. I'm planning this week to have an interactive session with all those who have shared their resume with me on feedback.mentorbuddy@gmail.com. So if you have not shared your resume yet, please do share that with me, because only those students will be allowed to attend the live session that will be on Zoom. Yes, Bhavita, very soon I'll be sharing the next soft skills test there on MentorBuddy website. Okay, thank you so much, students. See you all again on Thursday. And all those who have shared their resume will be getting a link for a live session on mock interviews. Okay, nice to have you with us, Mr. Choksi. I hope that the solution that I have shared with you is going to be helpful. Okay, Miss Choksi, I'm so sorry for that, ma'am. But I would certainly be looking forward to you for your feedback also of the session on feedback.mentorbuddy@gmail.com. All right. Thank you so much. No, Vaishnavi, don't share your resume here. Share your resume on feedback.mentorbuddy@gmail.com. And we are going to meet very soon on Zoom for interactive session where you'll get an opportunity to speak a lot, right? Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care. See you all on Thursday, 7:30 p.m. sharp. Bye.